Hey y'all, my name is Danielle Hamilton. I'm a Diamond Leader with It Works Global, and I was just going to ask Mandy a few questions, and then I will kind of answer them myself so you can kind of see how each of us do things, because we do things a little differently. What works for one person might not work for the next, but we really wanted to kind of show you a few ways that are working for us personally. So I'll let Mandy introduce herself.
Hey y'all, I am Mandy. I am an Emerald with It Works. Been doing this about a year and a half. And here we are.
So what is your goal for the month and for the year right now?
My goal for the month is Diamond. For the year, by the end of the year, my goal is Triple. So we shall see.
And how did you kind of come up with those goals?
Well, the goal for Diamond is pretty simple. I stay home now. I do this full time. So I want to be making more than I was when I was working outside the home. And for the year with Triple, that was just more so to push myself a little harder than just kind of coasting along. So Triple will be something that has to work really hard to do. But it also would, got notifications coming in everywhere. Triple would also it would change a lot for our family.
Yeah. So what is one thing that you do every single day for your business?
So the obvious answer to that would be posting. We need to make sure that we are posting minimum twice a day. I post 3 to 4 times a day. That allows me to mix it up. I do a product post in the mornings, and then my afternoon post, I try to do something that doesn't look overly business related. So whatever I'm doing that day, but since I work from home, anything that I'm doing can become business related, because whatever I'm doing that day, whether it's laundry or I'm actually out somewhere, can tie back into the business. And then my afternoon posts, my evening posts are always business, like opportunity related.
Would you say that every single thing that you post has to do with the business or a product?
Not every post. But I heard one of the top leaders, I don't remember who it was maybe Jocelyn or one of the several different Ashleys that I follow, said that no matter what I'm posting, it's all business related, because everything that I do ties back into my business. So whether I'm grocery shopping, I'm grocery shopping in the middle of the day because I can.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have to go on Saturdays because I own my own time. If I'm doing laundry, it's business related because, again, I own my own time. So I can do laundry in the middle of the week instead of, several times in the middle of the week, instead of having one big laundry day where I spend all day doing laundry.
Would you say that your posts have changed since you have you're staying home now? Like, were they different before, or what did you really focus on before?
Before, I think it was a little easier for me to focus on products, because what I wanted out of my lifestyle posts were days when I was at home or stuff like that. So before, I was posting a lot more of the products and what the business would be doing. So days that I was off and I wasn't working or something, it was, I can't wait to be doing this full time. I have today off. I can't wait until every day is like this, or stuff like that.
Something I like to post a lot about with working is that I am able to have a second job, but I don't have to spend hours and hours and hours at it.
Yeah.
That I'm able to bring in a secondary income, which actually this income is more than I'm making at my part-time job, but I like to post stuff like that. Like, I don't have to actually work outside of the home to make more money.
One thing that I was just looking at my pink water bottle and thinking, I apparently really like pink today. One thing that I like to be able to do, so even if, I know you and I both stay home for the most part, but even people who have a job outside the home, you post things about what the business is allowing you to do and what things you're able to get from it. So one of my very favorite things to post when I do it is when I go get my hair done, post something about, selling 4 wraps allowed me to go get my hair done without having to worry about the extra income, or having this extra income allowed the cushion in the budget to be able to go get my hair done. Things like that, like the splurges that we do in life, I think are a great way to tie back into the business.
No, I love that. So you kind of already touched on this one, but so posting on Facebook and Instagram, you said that's something that you do every single day. And you said often, so you do it 2 to 4 times a day?
Yeah, I post at least twice a day. I mean, I've had days where I forget to post in the middle of the day. And so that I'm in the evening scrambling to grab an evening post. But I post at least twice a day. I prefer to post 3 to 4 times a day. Just doing that 4th one kind of allows me to throw in something that's a little more personal without having to skip a business post too.
Yeah.
I want my page to still show things that I'm doing and that my family's doing, but I also need to make sure that my business is being promoted through my Facebook.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And so for me, for posting, like I usually am 2 to 4 as well. I don't post anything above 4. And I kind of try to put myself on a schedule. So I try to have one morning, one afternoon, one evening, and then either one late night or one late afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I try to keep those in track. My morning posts usually don't have anything to do with the business. They're usually some funny meme that I found, or an inspirational photo, or something like that. Something to get people to start talking to you. And for me, those posts, like the posts that people like on my page that have nothing to do with this business, those are people that I'm going to start interacting with. And for me, that's the easiest way to do it, because then I'm not like, hey, thanks for the love on my post. But it's easy for me to just start talking to them because they saw something, and it had nothing to do with the business. So I'm able to strike up a conversation with someone new. The next thing that I was going to ask you was, so what's your favorite way to start a conversation with someone that you've never talked to before?
That varies depending on the person. So people that I knew in high school or in college, I go through their page and I kind of scroll through what they've been doing. A lot of people my age are getting married and having kids. So, one thing that I find myself doing is I go and I like Facebook stalk them for a little bit. And then I find myself liking like 17 of their wedding photos or photos of their kids. And I'll send them a message like, hey, totally didn't mean to just creep on your page, but I just got, your wedding photos are gorgeous, or your kid's really cute. I actually have one girl that I was friends with. I was actually friends with her husband in college, and I messaged her the other day. It's like, I feel like I stalk the pictures that you post of your kid, but they're just really cute. So sorry for being a creeper. And that way it gets the conversation going without being like, hey, I started this new business. You want to try a product?
Yep. No, I totally agree with that. And it really kind of just breaks the ice. So people don't feel awkward talking to you, kind of thing. I feel like that's a huge thing to get over sometimes, is we don't want people to feel awkward. We don't want to be that awkward person to be like, hey, so I like to do that too. I always try to find something personal, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask me about the business, or they're going to ask me about a product, and I don't even have to feel awkward about bringing it up, because they bring it up to me, simply because I was already talking to them before. So say that you have a person who has, you two have talked and you've talked about the wraps and they haven't ordered yet. How often do you follow up with that person?
So what I've started doing is, I don't remember who I got this from. I watch entirely too many leader videos that I get them all confused. But I feel like it's Thomas and Ashley Hughes, but I could be completely wrong. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months is the system that I try to follow. If they were interested in a product, I'll follow up with them a couple days later, and then a couple weeks later, and then 2 months later on the business. So what I actually like to do is I'll throw in a couple personal messages in between, like my 2 months. So message them at 2 days, 2 weeks, and then I'll message them in between that with personal messages, and then follow up again a couple months later with the business, with the products or whatever it was that they were interested in.
Awesome. Do you have like a certain like favorite follow-up message that you send to people on the 2-day or 2-week message, or?
One that I do a lot, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a favorite, but one that I do a lot is, hey girl, I'm getting orders in today. I know that you were interested in the wraps. Do you want me to get your order in? Something like that, just so that way it's not like overly pushy, but it's also, you always want to assume the sale. You want to assume that people are going to get whatever it is that you're asking about. So you want that confidence in that, but you also don't want to be like, I'm not comfortable being like, hey, so let's go do this like right now and give me your credit card number and, all this information. So I'm just like, I'm putting orders in. Are you ready for yours? Or something like that.
Yeah. My new favorite follow-up message is, hey, I know that you were interested in wraps. Are you ready to get started on your goal of flattening your tummy? Or if they were talking about being a distributor and I've had this conversation with them and I know that they want to make a few extra $100 or they want to pay off a credit card, I will send them a message and say, hey, Brittany, I know that you really wanted to work on paying off your credit card. Are you ready to start working towards that goal? I have found with me switching the conversation a little bit and focusing on other people's goals rather than my own, rather than me promoting, rather than me enrolling people, people will pay attention a little bit more for me. And they're like, oh, I really am ready. I just don't have the money right now, but I'll have it. And they'll tell me when they're going to be ready to do it. So then I have the perfect leeway to say, hey, you were ready to sign up today. Is it a good day? Is now a good time? And then for that message, I'm always like, is now a good time? Because they'll tell me, again, if it's a good time to do it right then and there.
I like that.
And I got the goal thing from someone else, but I love the idea of asking people about their goals.
Yeah.
Because then it's not, I need 5 more customers today, or I need 3 more distributors until I reach my chart or whatever. It has nothing to do with you anymore. It has everything to do with them. So I know that you have a huge thing on this, so I'm going to ask you about your organization because I'm really excited to share about this. And this is for potentials, and I don't know if you do your current loyal customers in this as well, but I want you to share both of them.
Yeah, I do have I don't have all of my current loyal in this, but I do have some of them.
Okay. If not, I'll show mine because I have my.
I have a complete different organization system for my current loyals, but in my list that I'm about to show you, some of them are in there.
I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to walk away for just a second.
So I have, for the longest time, I didn't really understand the colors that people were talking about, so I looked it up. And I've discovered I'm completely a red. This is really shaky. You need to see. Turn it this way, see if that helps. Yeah, you can see it a little better now. There we go. All right. So here is what I've done. I've decided I need things written down somewhere. And I know that this isn't going to work for everybody because not everybody's going to want to sit down at their computer to do this. But I did an Excel spreadsheet, and I kind of not really a fan that you can see these names, but oh well. All right, so I have their names over here and this side. The date that I contacted them, the method that I contacted them, whether it's via Facebook, text message. Somewhere down at the bottom, I've got my Instagram people because I added them all in at the same time. And then what they were interested in. So there are some people who weren't necessarily interested in one product. They were interested in a lot. And so they just had the possible loyal. If they were interested in one particular one, it's got that one next to it. So I also send out referral messages asking people if they will either send me a referral or if I can post on their wall. So I send that. People asking if they would let me do a party with them. And then potential distributors. And then I also have when we invite people to our online parties. Mm-hmm. So each one, or each name that I've talked to has a response to it once they've responded. Like I have some people who haven't responded to me, so there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But so each one, I have to color code things. Everything in my life is my closet is color organized. It's bad. I know, it's so bad. So, but this just lets me be able to see, you know, all this teal. Is that teal? I don't even know what color that is. All the teal I wrote to on the 2nd, so I followed up with them on the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I can look at it and just see those dates, and that way if I'm looking for a specific date that I need to start following up with people, I can look for that color. The yellow is my chicken list of people that I need to message, but I haven't yet. So eventually I'll get there. Mm-hmm. So you can see where I just sit down and I pick names of, you know, that list to just send out. Mm-hmm. And everybody, once they respond, will get that, but not everybody has one of that yet. And so I also have my loyals are in. Back around. This is the box that's Sunny got. They have their own box. Mm-hmm. And then each of them, not each person, but so I have them divided into days of 10. So like the 1st to the 10th, and then each loyal has a note card. Mm-hmm. So on the back of the card, well, the front, because it goes this way. So on this side of the card, it has the name and the run date. And then when you flip it back around, I've got what their last couple orders have been. And I have their run date again. The person that they're under, because that's a big deal for me to be able to go and find them. And then if they have perk points. And when I looked at their perk points to see when, so that way I know when they expire. Yeah. So I've got all that days, 1 through 10, 10 through 20, 20 through 25. And then I also have a pack for people who aren't ordering anymore. They have their own spots. That way I can follow up with them also and try to get them rerunning or at least ordering something. Mm-hmm. And it also has the same thing, their name, their ID number, that's on all of them too. And since they don't have a run date, I have the day that what they ordered and then who they're under.
Awesome. So how for your Excel spreadsheet, how did you come up with all those names?
I honestly just sat down. I wrote them all out first, and then I decided they needed to be in the computer. But I sat down with Facebook, and I just went through my friends list. I just opened up my friends list and said, all right, I'm just writing people down. Like, that's why some of the people are yellow, because their name was just there, and I'm like, I don't want to message you, but here we go. There's probably a lot more that need to be yellow. I just haven't gotten that far in my list yet.
Yeah.
But I just went through my Facebook friends list and said, this is what I need.
No, that's perfect. So I don't do an Excel spreadsheet because that's just not me. But for my potentials, I have a notebook like this that I have everyone's name written down in. And the reason I like this is because I'm able to just throw this in my car with me. So if I'm out somewhere and I have like 15 minutes, I can just go through it and just start messaging people. I also write most of my potentials. I'll write on the back of my steps to success sheet. You can see mine from the past few months, and it looks ridiculous how many times I've scratched out and I write notes next to everybody. It works really well for me that way. And then I'm able to go back a few months and look at old steps to success sheets. And I'd be like, oh, I was talking to her. I totally forgot about her. Or he wanted to order this and I totally forgot about that. So I'm able to go and follow up with people through there. I do the index card things. I just started doing them. I just bought this box for like $1 at Walmart. I too have their name written on there. I have their ship date, and then I also have their ID number up there. I don't put who I placed them under because to me that's not that important. If I have their ID number, I can look them up that way. But I have what they ordered, and then I have any kind of note. So if there was a special thing that they were really had a goal that they're working towards, I'm writing that down on that card as well. And I am able to go through those before. as far as keeping in contact with your loyal customers, how often would you say that you do that?
I try to do at least once a month. Again, depending on the relationship that I have. So like I have some people who order from me that I've never met, that I'm just, friends with on Facebook, but I don't know this person, so to speak. So I follow up with them about once a month. But I also have people that I see on a regular basis. And so I'll follow up with them more regularly than once a month. But a lot of that, and I try not to always make it business related also. I want to make sure that everybody has a personal, relationship too, because that's what a lot of our business is building those personal relationships.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that. So how often, or no, what do you normally talk about? Like, do you just send them a message and ask them how their products are going, or?
For people that I'm not quote unquote friends with, that's what a lot of it is. And I'll throw in, random messages, hey, how you doing? How are the kids, kind of thing. But a lot of it is, how are you liking your products? Here's a tip for, I like to give in tips for people who take greens. If I find a new smoothie recipe or something that I like to take mine in, I'll send them a message. Here's how I'm doing mine this week, or people who are taking ThermoFit, like you were telling me today, you read somewhere that, you shouldn't drink coffee with ThermoFit. Didn't know that. I should probably tell some of my people who are taking ThermoFit, hey, I learned this today. Just so you know.
Yeah. No, I love that. And that's kind of what I do. I always look at when their next auto shipment date is, and I am messaging them at least a week before it so we can adjust it if they need to. I like to help reevaluate what their goals are. A lot of people come to me and they want to lose weight. That's what I would say 80% of my business is weight loss. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's very important to keep in contact with them at least once a month to see if they're meeting those goals, if we need to adjust the product, or maybe we need to really, sit down and talk about is it working, is it not working? And if they're saying it's not working, let's make sure they're drinking the water. Let's make sure that they are eating relatively healthy. And I always tell people, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but I can give general, statements as to what healthy eating should look like, where I can send you to a few sites that can maybe help you out a little bit. And that's really what I do for my loyal customers. When they are close to their 3 months, or they're, processing that 3rd month shipment, I first off want to try to keep them ordering after that. So I'm going to, again, reevaluate with them. And then I'm going to let them know that they have 3 more orders, and then they get a $50 shopping spree. The reason that I put it as 3 orders is it sounds less scary than 3 months for some reason. I have no idea why, it just does. So I like to say that. And I also, if they are having really good results and they're absolutely loving their products, I'm either going to talk to them about, one, having a party and referring a few friends to me. If they have a party, I am the person I like to offer free stuff if they're going to do that for me, especially if they're sending me quite a few customers. I like to pick one of our products that are $30 and under and let them know that they can earn that if that's what they would want to do, or I can give them a wrap or 2 for free, however you want to work that out. The second thing I like to talk to them about, if they are loving their products and they've already referred some people to you, or they're like, oh, I was talking to my girlfriend about this, talk to them about being a distributor. Say, listen, that's all that I do. I just refer people and I share this product. You're already doing that, so maybe is this something you'd be interested in? So I like to touch on all 3 of those things, just because it gives them all of their options, really. That was pretty much all that I had. The only other thing that I wanted to share is the one thing every day. So I shared this with Mandy earlier today, but I took Christina Watt's video, and she had the 10 daily tasks. I added number 11 because I was like, oh, I need to put that down. So I wrote all of these down, and then I am writing the number down as I complete them for that day. So I have credit card declines. I have contact distributors. Maybe that's only 1 a day. Follow-ups. So follow-ups are a crucial part of our business every single day. That doesn't pertain to anybody perk points. So I like to look through when I'm contacting my loyal customers and I'm pulling up their account. I'm going to see how many perk points they have to see if they want to use any of them this month. Samples, I do like to send out samples. So I send out Greens Chews, Wow, and Greens. Those are the 3 that I send out on a regular basis. And I send those to either leads that maybe I have their address for, or my current loyal customers who haven't tried that product. I get great response when I send that. I had a few girls that ordered from me last summer, and I sent them all some Wow, and I had 3 orders come in within like a week because they were like, oh my goodness, I love this stuff. So just things like that. And it goes a long way to send a thank you card. Like, thank you for supporting my small business. If if you have friends, refer them to me, something like that. But people notice those personal touches. Mm-hmm. Team page. So I always make sure that I look at the team pages I'm a part of. So that is the One Team One Dream, Rachel, Skinny Wrap Divas, and Diamond Makers. I try at least once a day to scroll through until I've seen all the posts. That way I'm not missing anything. So if Christy does a training, or if there's a video posted in Rachel's group, or if there's a question asked in our group, like, I want to make sure that I'm seeing it all. Pray over your business. And then, so schedule parties. I also have done that post, and I'm constantly trying to book new parties because I know that that's the easiest way to get multiple customers at one time, rather than working and hiding behind a computer. It is very easy to build a business online, but it is 10 times easier to build a business in person. People see you and they see that you're excited. So that's something that I'm constantly trying to do. I have follow-up with loyal customers. Again, that goes back to kind of perk points, but I just like to make sure that I am in contact with them, especially if someone needs to change something. You know, if someone told me on Sunday they needed to change an auto shipment, they needed help doing it, maybe I put in a support ticket, I need to make sure that I go back and let them know what the answer was. And then I have add 20 new friends on Facebook on here. And I'm going to add an Instagram one that's follow 50 new people. So those are just goals that I want to do daily. Now, me writing down 12 goals does not mean I'm completing 12 things every single day. That just means that those are goals, and I'm going to write down what I do complete, because I don't necessarily need to follow up with all of my current loyal customers every single day. I'm going to pick 2 or 3 to follow up every few days. But that is what I'm doing. One thing that I do every day is look in my eSuite. Mm-hmm. That may sound so silly, but I look in that thing at least once a day. So it's either looking at reports, or I'm looking at volume, or I am looking at loyal customer orders. I'm always in my eSuite, or maybe I'm looking at product info. I've read more stuff on like our probiotic and some of our newer products that maybe I'm not as acquainted with. That's something that I do every single day. I post as well, but that's just something different that I do. But that's about all that I had. You have anything to add?
Well, I was going to say another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about. Another thing that I do every day is I'm messaging those people that are on this list. Like, this list is not just here just for to make pretty colors on things. Like, this list it serves a purpose. And so, you can see spending time messaging these people. It's not just there. There's sending out. My goal is at least 20 messages a day. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do less than that. Sometimes I've done more than that. It just depends on what's going on for the day. But I'm sending out messages every day. There's no reason why we shouldn't be sending at least 5 messages a day. You can do 5 messages pretty quickly.
Yep. If you do that for 7 days, it's 35 new people you've reached out to every single week.
Yep.
Oh, no, I love that. But we're going to say goodbye. Let's stop the recording.